Welcome, dear friends, to another study of the Spiritist magazine. Here we are together to analyze one of the articles from issue 63 of the Spiritist magazine. I hope we can find you well. And we will talk about a very important topic today, which is specification. The message we'll discuss can be found on issue 63 of the magazine. As you're going to see shortly what the issue of the magazine looks like. As you see on the screen, if you visit spiritistmagazine.org, you'll find all of the issues free of charge for you to download, or the links to the app and many other ways you can order the magazine if you'd like to, a link to the Facebook page of the magazine, so on and so forth. So many resources for our use and enlightenment each and every day of our lives. So today's message is by Emmanuel. And this message was psychographed by the medium Francisco Candido Xavier. If you're watching this on video, you would see that I'm sharing the screen, where my computer screen, where we find the Spiritist magazine in the PDF format as it shows on my computer operating system. And we have here this beautiful message by Emmanuel that starts with a quote from the Bible. But before I go there, I'm going to show you how easy it is to browse. So this is what the page, the front page of the magazine looks like, the cover page of the magazine look like. There are messages from Andrea Louise in the book Spiritist Conduct. And you have a message from the editor-in-chief by Alexandre Fontes da Fonseca. You have messages by Américo Canhoto, by the spirit Delphine de Jardin. You have messages by Carlos Pastorino, message by Umberto de Campos in the book Light Above. And then you have an article by Laurette Godoy on the materializations by Euripides Barçanovo, message from May, the science of life after death, so many other things. Harmony by Mentor Joseph, the Spirit Joseph, a message by Divaldo on envy. And then you scroll down to our message, which is let us pacify. The world we live in, the trials and expiations during this planetary transition to regeneration. There isn't another time that we have needed more peace and pacification in our hearts, in our minds. So let's learn with Emmanuel. Very timely topic. The first thing you notice that there is a message, there's a quote from the Bible in Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, quote, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." So first question, do you feel like during your daily lives you are a peacemaker? Are we creating peace with our words, with our actions, with our presence, with our model towards others in a way that we can contribute to the pacification of planet Earth? First question. I hope the answer is yes, we are peacemakers, meaning we're not engaging in activities that are going to create discord, tumults, revolts, anger, war, so on and so forth, right? So let's see what Emmanuel has to say for us today. So if you're watching this, you're going to see I'm scrolling down so that I can have a larger font, and we're going to read each one. These are morsels These are like for us to dissect and think of. The Spiritist literature is not for fast consumption. It's for us to really digest, meditate upon. He says, there is no point in prolonging the nervous war. Conflict will await you in every corner because peace is the foundation of God's laws. So peace is there, the touchstone of God's law. Everything starts with peace, and everything is nourished by eh, love. That's the answer, right? So peace is the foundation of God's laws, which there are 10 in the Spirit's book, part 3 of the Spirit's book. So we need to be mindful of them, get acquaintance, get to know of them, study them, most importantly, apply them to our daily lives. So Emmanuel says, watch the catastrophes that pass. Time and again, human beings make themselves the wolf of humanity, destroying the terrestrial countryside. But God, in silence, determines that the grass covers the soil again, placing the flower in the grass and forming the fruit in the body of the flower itself. So you see how Emmanuel is wise. We see places on the earth where men are being the wolves, human beings. I want to say man, I mean human beings, are being the wolf of humanity, destroying everything we pass around. When there are wars, when people are fighting, they tend to destroy nature around us. But then God silently determines that everything returns to a state of equilibrium, which is homeostasis, right, for us. So when we think that things are destroyed, we see hurricanes. He's going to talk about volcanoes, talk about floods. We see the destruction, and then over time, things renew themselves. People renew themselves, their attitude. You see the outpouring of help when there's a natural disaster. It took a natural disaster for us to go and look and help more, because there's a lot of spiritual help all the time. They just don't take the credit. But then when something happens, but God is working with us and for us, no matter what kind of destruction we feel it's happening in our lives, a destruction of a relationship, destruction of social structures, of work. God is there for you, dear friend. He says, volcanoes ruin vast regions, but God restores the thorn landscapes. Seaquakes sweep cities, but God shows them another place and they emerge more beautiful. Earthquakes bring calamities, but here and there, God readjusts the face of the globe. So there are cycles of renewal, the law of preservation, the law of destruction. There's this cycle of renewal. For us, with a limited understanding of time and space, and with a limited vision and sensitivities for this one lifetime, we may feel like everything is disastrous. But then we have to look and be, things are going to work out. God is working. God is going to restore the landscape. God's going to show us another place and make things more beautiful. God is going to readjust the globe, even though we are in as a humanity in turmoil right now. Strange diseases devastate entire populations. Hey, COVID, anyone? But God inspires the head of selfless scientists and liquidate the epidemics, right? This is what happens. We got the therapeutics, we got to know how to treat, we got vaccines, we did social distancing, we helped and protected one another, especially the more vulnerable. We aligned with science and we conquered it for the most part, all of it, right? So there is work even when there's difficulties. From time to time, storms shake wide swaths of the earth, but God, excuse me, by the forces of nature, rebalances everything. So, what is the lesson here? Let's review the items. Now that we have read it, let's review. We, as humans, destroy through war. We destroy the lands, we destroy the beautiful forests and landscapes, and then the grass comes and covers the flowers, the fruits, and the trees and the animals. Volcanoes may destroy regions. Remember, there was an active volcano in Hawaii that destroyed many things. Sea quakes, Japan, for example, and other areas of Asia, you have earthquakes. Even we had one recently in New York, here in the US. Earthquakes, strange diseases, all things that we as humanity experience on a cyclic basis, because life is about cycles of activity, of destruction, of renewal. Then once we see it that way, it's easier for us to understand. Nobody is condoning an activities of destruction. We are just experiencing them and helping one another through process, because there's no growth if not through service towards one another. We're going to be repeating this as the mantra is inspiring us to say, service is the key to learn love and to evolve. The moment we realize that our way of self-care, me, my likes, my life, my this, my family, we're not going to progress of humanity. We are here to serve others. Yes, that includes serving our family members and friends, but not only. Because when I serve them but hoard the resources for myself, I'm preventing others from also realizing their potential. So it's very interesting that with Spiritism, we can broaden our horizons and see things in a new way, understand things. Does it mean that I'm not going to have any more troubles? No. Might even have more troubles, because when we're not worried about what's next, what's my connection with the spiritual realm, am I serving others, our spiritual companies are just going to go along with us, enjoying the senses and enjoying today, this lifetime. You only live once. Drink, eat, don't exercise, just travel, enjoy yourself, right? The moment we are more aware and awake, and then difficulties may come, because those companions would like to continue in their enjoyment of the senses. See? So just give us a new perspective and faith and knowledge and belief and certainty that God, all of this happened. What does Emmanuel says? We destroy things, but God in silence determined that it renews. Volcanoes ruined, God restores. God shows another place and make more beautiful. God readjusts the face of the globe. God inspires scientists to create solutions and medicines for us to take, and surgeries and procedures. God, by the force of nature, rebalance everything. When there are storms, floods, as we've seen recently. So, what do we do? Very important. Oh, excuse me, I moved something. He says, I'm going to make it very big. Do not give in to pessimism in any circumstance. Dear friends, I'm going to make it larger so we can read. I'll make it smaller. Remember the quote from the beginning. Blessed are the peacemakers. Okay, so are we peacemaking? Beautiful words. But what does that mean in real life? Not giving in to pessimism, thinking that everything is going to be destroyed forever, that everything's the end of the world. Remember, the physical world will end eventually when the sun bursts into a supernova. The spiritual world will remain, which is our true home, and we'll find other planets to reincarnate and learn and grow. But to be a peacemaker means that I'm not seeking to be consistently connected with visions of war, that I constantly want to. That doesn't mean we're going to be ignorant and ignore but we're not going to actively seek the destruction and this and be feeding off of this war from this anger. We're going to calm ourselves knowing that God, remember, God restores, God gives life, God comes and in silence works so that everything is working for us. That's called divine providence. We don't give into pessimism. We study. We go to the book Genesis, a whole chapter on God and divine providence. We watch Kardec Radio. We come to the Spiritist Center, right? We read the Spiritist magazine. That give us strength. Work that muscle while everything is good, because eventually one of those things may reach us, because there is the cyclic nature. Sometimes things are very good, sometimes things are not good. Everything can be now affliction and convulsion before you. That may be how we feel. However, calm down life around as much as you can, because peace will come from the hands of God. Calm down life around as much as you can. Let us pacify. God is counting on you and I in our daily activities as co-creators in a smaller plane to create peace within ourselves so that the environment we are at can be more peaceful. Blessed are the peacemakers, as we saw in the beginning. Be today a peacemaker. Make peace with yourself, where you're from, who were your parents, what happened to you, what are my strengths, what are the things we want to work on, and we ask for help. We join community, we go to the center, we ask for psychological help, we go to take care of our medical needs with the physicians. We are multi-millenary, multi-dimensional beings. And once we pacify, our interactions will be more peaceful. We're not engaged on those behaviors that are so much from an old version of ourselves, and we are moving forward with God. Peace will come from the hands of God, and you, dear friend, can calm down life around you within your circle of influence so that everyone can feel that peace, everyone can partake on peace, and everyone can work together in service to grow and evolve. This is from the book of Hope, Livro da Esperança by Emmanuel, through Xavier. And this Vanessa Celone discussed this chapter on the morning prayer at Kardec Radio. So, dear friends, let us be peacemakers between now and then. Let's start with ourselves. Let's work within our family members and our households. And that's the homework for this week. Let us be peacemakers. Let us pacify. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope that soon enough we can rejoin. God willing, of course, as always, within the hands of God. We'll be back with another Spiritist magazine program next week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And talking about peacemakers, please stay tuned at 9 p.m. Our dear friend Carol Correa will study with you the divine laws. Stay well, stay safe, dear friends. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.